Okay, let's take a quick look at what we have in this position. Let's analyze the important elements. First of all, we see that knight on a5, is potentially can capture the bishop, which probably is white we don't want because, you know, we have this beautiful bishop targeting the pawn on f7. The knight is stuck on the side, so black would probably prefer to exchange this piece with this piece. We also can see a clear element that there's some back rank issues for the black king. Basically, is very much strangled. Why? Because the bishop here, the white bishop here, is preventing the black king to move to d8. The rook here is not allowing the king to move to f8, and so on, the pawns and the bishop. So we clearly see, there's something you should clearly see, that there's a back rank issue that we might be able to exploit, but let's, try to accumulate other things that we can see as important elements on the board. And based on that, maybe try to find a solution. What would be the best move, right? It's like a puzzle we're trying to solve and try to find the best move. Now, what else that we see, which is interesting, is that this rook on d2 is x-raying the square on d8. And if this bishop on d7 was not here, then the next move is a mate. Now, that's something you need to clearly see, okay? And now we can try to think, okay, because this is definitely the most forcing move. If we look at different forcing moves, if we had this ability, we would move the rook to d8 and basically checkmate the king. Maybe there are ways to deflect the bishop away from this square, or possibly maybe win the piece. So if you try to think about possibilities of attacking the bishop and trying to move it, one of the moves that comes to mind is, let's say, for instance, moving the bishop to e6, but then clearly the pawn would capture the bishop, so that's not a great move. But if we will move the bishop to b5, we are now threatening to take the bishop, and if the bishop moves, we will checkmate the king. So actually, moving the bishop to b5 is the best move. And if black captures a bishop, thinking that he earned a piece for free, well, we earned the entire game, which is much more important, obviously. And if black sees the threat and decides to basically make some space, let's say for the king, we can capture the bishop. And I think the best way to capture the bishop, and we can capture because we have two pieces as attacking and only one, and only the king defending, is to actually capture with the rook. And I think it's better to capture with the rook for the possibility of having I don't know, maybe a discovered attack, and just in general, having the rook here, I think is stronger, while the bishop, is supporting the movement of the rook on the seventh rank. I'm sorry. Okay, so this is really the interesting solution here. Is that the most important element is that we clearly see a back rank issue. We can exploit it. We can checkmate if this bishop is not here, and we can move. We can deflect the bishop away, or if it doesn't move, we can win the bishop and basically have a major advantage. So